I would say I'm specifically passionate about would be the health industry and the direction it's going, our education and media, arts and entertainment, because that's kind of the field I'm in, and how does that impact society. So real quick, raise of hands, who has ever heard about the 7 mountains of society? Awesome. So the 7 mountains, real quick synopsis is, our faith is important, right? And so the church or religion is one of those mountains. And then we have government, we have family, we have business, we have media, we have arts and entertainment. And I usually always forget the 7th one. Trying to think what that would be. But basically those mountains of society, whoever's at the top 4% of that mountain controls the direction. So who is managing our media? Who's managing Hollywood? Who's managing our government? Who is telling our family what they should be, what they should look like, and how the family unit functions? So as you're getting to know each person in this room and being inspired today, I would just encourage you, ask yourself, what mountain do I feel called to? And it may be more than one. For me, it is actually business, being an entrepreneur, somewhat government, and then arts and entertainment. I know those are the mountains I'm called to. I love Jesus, and I am part of the church mountain in some way, but I'm not a leader in that mountain. So there's kind of those subcategories. Anyways, that's a little bit about me. Sorry I went over the minute, I think, but I wanted to just kind of give you a feeling. So let's go ahead and, do you want to start us out? Since you're so gorgeous and amazing.
Yes, my name is Boots BBQ. I am from New York and I lived in Kerrville for 3 years. I'm 21 years old, graduated high school 2019. I am currently very interested in learning about politics, law, how our government works, and also writing. I would love to get into journalism and actually be part of the good part of journalism, which is freedom of speech. I'm starting to intern with Jacqueline, just teaching me and just dipping my toe in and learning as much as I can.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. So who wants to know Havila? I do. I want to be your bestie after today. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go ahead and just hand you one of these, because it's actually for each of the adults here.
Okay.
All right.
Howdy. I'm Joseph Cogburn. I live over in Somerset, which is south of San Antonio, about 20 minutes. Non-politically, I'm passionate about the classical trades. I want to do blacksmithing as a profession, and 18, just turned 18 this year. So. Politically, I'm passionate about pro-life and a lot of the disparities within the airport towards men, which is heartbreaking. And that's just about it.
Awesome. Thank you. Tyler?
I'm Kyler Harris. Live down in Bernie. I'm a junior in high school. I'm personally passionate about music and more of the arts. Politically passionate about more the Texas bill, gun rights, and protecting young lives.
I am Taylor Kroll. I am 28 years old. I live in Fredericksburg, Texas. I moved here to Texas about 3.5 years ago. I'm from Minnesota, lived in California for about 7 years. Didn't really get into politics until I moved to Texas, and I've just dove in it and learning as much as I can. I am very passionate about teaching people about the truth of vaccines and what is inside those vaccines and exactly what it does to, what the corruption is, and how deep that corruption is and the roots of that. I'm passionate about leading teens, and I'm really excited. I'm kind of involved with my church that way. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
So good. Can I do a quick, just a quick question for everybody is after today, if you would like your information to be, if you're okay with your information being shared with the group, I'm happy to put together a, like a text message or an email with everybody and just say, you know, name, phone number, whatever you'd like to share so that you guys can connect with each other if you want as a group wide. But after this, feel free to just connect with specific people that you really want to keep in touch with. Because this is absolutely a day to network. I don't want you to leave here without getting at least one other person's contact info. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Morgan Parker. I'm a junior in high school and I'm from Fredericksburg. I'm really passionate about caring for people, and actually right now I'm working as assistant to a pediatric nurse, which is a great opportunity for that. Government-wise, I'm really interested in board affairs, and that's what I'd like to pursue knowledge.
I'm Claire Peck. I'm a junior in high school, and I want to be a neonatal nurse or doctor in the future, and I want to be a missionary to read around the country. And politically wise, I'm like about vaccines. I want to know like what that does because I want to go to the medical field, and also about work for life. So.
Yeah. Clara, real quick, you mentioned Italy in your bio. I was like, I love Italy so much. So we can be besties.
Hi, I'm Cole Carpenter, and I'm also a junior in high school. I'm specifically interested in the human trafficking problems going on in America. So my mom runs a nonprofit that helps with those issues, and I'd like to also go into that and help women and children get out of those issues and stop it from happening in the first place.
Oh, real quick, could you share the name of that organization here?
So the name of that organization is Mercy Gate Ministries, and it was started down here in the Hill Country.
Hi, I'm Michaela Miller. I'm 14. I'm a freshman in Canyon High School. I live in Navajo, Texas. That's my dad, Mike, over there. I don't know a whole bunch about, political stuff because I am young, but I do know I want the wall to be built and just kind of like stop everything and people from coming through with sex trafficking, drug smuggling, such things like that, and I just know like it needs to be stopped.
Hi, I'm Manuel Puccio. I'm the younger brother of her over there, and I'm 19. And my passions are personal training and fitness, and I'm also looking to stop the sex trade. So that's really cool. Politically, what I'd like to do is to preach about Second Amendment and freedom of speech, to stop cancel culture, if you know what that is, to stop people from saying what they really believe and standing up for people that they believe are not treated well. So that's what I'm here.
Awesome.
All right, I'm Matthew Hansen. I'm 34 years old, or young, really, right? I'm not originally from Texas. I only moved out here about 4 or 5 months ago. I live in Fredericksburg originally. Spent about 20 years in South Florida. Politically, I'm conservative. I care about our freedoms, care about our rights, and more importantly, I care about us keeping all those. Right? Our founding fathers laid everything on the line so we could even have a meeting like this today. And I'm so passionate about keeping the torch lit in America and keeping the fire burning for freedom, because if we don't do it, especially as a young generation, it's going to go out. Freedom isn't given. It isn't earned. It isn't passed down through the gene pool. It's something that you fight for and you stand for, and I'm so passionate about that. So just excited to be here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'm 31. I run a small jewelry company with my husband and myself. We make sterling silver jewelry with alligator leather and ancient coin reproductions. We've lived everywhere. We've lived in Miami, New York City, San Diego, Seattle, Detroit, Houston. 10 days before Harvey hit, destroyed, we thought, our business. Picked back up again to get into some of the best shows that we could dream of, only to have our life yanked from us again with all this COVID crap. So that's what got me involved and fed up with it and willing to die on this hill, whatever it takes, because every single thing that we would ever want out of life is at risk of being taken from us. Everything, on every front, on every level. I've been at every city council meeting almost since about December. I've been to a school board meeting. They do not like me there. I think that's a good thing.
You're doing something right.
So I say, game on. It's our time now.
Awesome. Let's go.
Oh, and the vaccine is my #1 political thing I'm against. I don't want any mandate to do with any medical interventions.
Amen.
I'm Janine Sequoia. I'm a senior at Fredericksburg High School, and non-politically, I'm really involved in volleyball and in my high school. And then politically, I am passionate about pro-life and vaccines.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Snyder. I am a theater student, a sophomore at Tybee High School. And my interests are theater and soccer. I do not really have any political views. Thank you.
I'm Nathaniel Hall. I'm from Ingram, Texas. I'm 17 years old. My political passions would probably be government overreach of God-given rights, such as right to life, gun rights, freedom of speech, and my personal passions are probably STEM, drones, and things such as that. So, awesome.
Hello all. My name is Macy Parker, born, bred, and raised in Fredericksburg, I'm a high school senior, 18 as of last month, and I've actually been involved in local conservative politics for about 6 years now. I was actually involved with my mom on Representative Biederman's evidently successful campaign.
Just because of you.
And in school, I'm really passionate about journalism, actually, and language just in general, bridging political and international gaps in that sense, as well as theater, actually. I've been involved at the Fredericksburg Theater Company for over a decade now, so music in any form, and then I'm also a youth worship leader at a church, so that's me.
You're just all over amazing. And this is so fun hearing from everybody.
Hey everyone, I'm Roman Erb. I'm 16 and a junior in high school. My personal interest is somewhere in the medical field, and but good to say, no matter what political opinion is, people don't have.
Hi everyone, I'm Elliot Erb. I'm 14. I'm a freshman in high school. My personal passions is God, #1, fishing and working out. And political wise, it's mostly just pro-life and pro-gun and saying what you want to say. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
I'm Jacqueline Hall. I'm the shorter but older sister of that one right there. I'll make sure he knows that. Anyway, so I work for Congressman Chip Roy here at Kerrville. Blessed to do that. I was homeschooled all the way through and graduated high school a little while back. I'm 25 years old. But yeah, I've had the blessing to be involved in politics from a young age, thanks to my mother and her involvement. Volunteering at the Capitol for a long time. And I found that, if you're willing to volunteer and if you're willing to invest in time, I've also volunteered with Kyle Biederman and his campaign and things like that. And so it's amazing how far you can go with volunteering and with things like that. So I would encourage y'all to consider that. I'm also a graduate of the Patriot Academy, which has been a huge boost in a lot of ways. And they teach you about the real history of our country, which is sadly not taught in a lot of our schools these days. So I would encourage y'all to check out Patriot Academy as well. But anyway, yeah, that's about it.
I guess I'm not part of the circle.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I'm Jet Burns, 21. I lived in Fredericksburg for the first 15 years of my life, and we moved out a little ways into Gillespie County. That's where we live now, and I've always had, Fox News on the TV. My dad was always watching that. So I kind of had an idea of what was going on. But, raised in a Christian conservative home, just, we got to hear all about it all the time. Good discussions all the time, plugged in. But I didn't know much about the state, unfortunately. I knew all about the federal issues, but Texas, I didn't know anything about it until a year ago when I started interning with Kyle Biederman as his technology advisor, which is my passion personally, just technology, And so I got to witness firsthand the corruption and the games that are played up there in Austin. And it is a mess, and boy, do we need some help all the way up, governor, every level. So I'm working on some of that with Kyle, and then I've also noticed the city politics are a mess. Fredericksburg, Gillespie County, so we're working really hard on that. That's sort of the politics, and then personally, I think my life is going to be in politics, but also in technology, since that's what I've been interested in for so long. And so I'm starting a data center in Fredericksburg that's going to be hosting conservative websites, or at least just freedom-loving people there, emails and all of that. And I'm also running things like that, and then possibly going to run for a public office at some point, considering going to CCU for a political degree. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So thank you all. Good to meet you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Chad.
Is there anyone else kind of as a part of the young adults that sneaked in? I'm not sure. What is your name?
Hey everybody, my name's Kyle. I'm just here as a representative with GOA.
Okay.
I worked full-time as an actor for 10 years in New York City, so awesome for the theater kids. I want to say thanks to everyone who's here. My personal thing, politically speaking, has got to be the lackadaisical just accommodation of the power grabs and overreach that are happening. And not just on both sides of the aisle. Once we get someone in office, we got to hold them to do the job that we hired them to do. And being critical of them and letting them know that we can, anyone in this room, or we can vote for somebody who's going to chair them for their own seat out of our own party. And all the issues work together. So I don't want to talk about any one of them. Obviously, I'm here with Gun Owners of America, but thanks everybody for doing what so many of the atypical conservatives want to do, and being active and acknowledging that the fight is not just every 4 years at the executive level. You guys being active agents of change is huge, so thank you.
Yeah, awesome, thank you. Well, wow, you guys, who's inspired to hear everybody's story that's in the room? This is amazing. I knew it. I knew there would be quality people in here. Some more experience than not, and we've got it. So, let's see. Esther, what is your name? Esther. Esther. I was trying to read your name tag. Would you like to share a little, just share your name and who you are? Come on, girl. You got this. You can take my seat, because I'm going to go up and stand for a minute. You want to? Come on. Yeah, just share your name and like where you live and who you are. Because everybody else shared real quick.
I'm Esther. I live here in Kerrville. I homeschool. And
Who in here has been homeschooled at one point during their life? Yeah? Come on.
Finally, the majority.
Parental education or self-education. Well, thank you so much, Mike Miller, for being here, and Kyle Biederman for being here. I'm trying to see if we have any more of the older VIPs here yet.
I only look young.
Oh, yes. Okay, Felicia, good to
It's
see
not
you.
skin here, y'all. You gotta do it. But I'm with GOA.
Yay, okay, let me see here. How about, I would love for each of you to share just a bit about who you are, what organization you're with. and
Sure.
let's
Well, I'm
take that.
extremely impressed with each and every one of you guys.
Yeah.
So, my name's Mike Miller. I'm the founder of Warriors for Ranchers. And if you guys have been watching the news or politics, I only speak on conservative media. So around March timeframe, we run a hunting ranch called Rancho Rio Lindo. And earlier this year, the cartel moves through because in Uvalde, Texas, we have a checkpoint there. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit about the story and what I've done and what changes and how I want to help you guys, because I really want to. Is they're trying to circumvent that checkpoint. So they go down the dirt road, and I'm the last ranch on the river. So they're coming through our ranch, and I was shot at by the drug cartel. And it was the first time that my wife and daughter wasn't in the buggy with me. I was in a 6-seater Polaris and had a fully automatic weapon. And I'm pretty sure they wanted the buggy because they wanted to get out of there, because they can go through that farm country, get to the river, and get to I-90. I survived that, so the only reason I'm standing here is because Jesus Christ has spared my life.
Amen.
My daughter and my wife was in one of the cabins when the Honduras guys came. They were trying to break into the cabin while both of them were in there, and I detained him myself. And I had to think at that time, if I hurt this man, am I going to be held more accountable because of this administration, right? But they've trespassed my property, and he's lucky I didn't beat the snot out of him. But instead, I used my surveillance and my interrogation because I'm a highly decorated Air Force veteran. I've been a SEER instructor. I've done 2 tours overseas. I've fought against the war against terror. I've been on many operations. I've been on Pacific banners. I've flown with the presidents. And I had some skill sets. I got him to sit down. I didn't know his language, but I was able to get his cell phone when he asked me electrical. He had GPS coordinates to his Coyote, and we caught 6 more people that night. They tried to hijack my truck while I was sitting in it. One night I was just texting her saying, "Hun, I'm on my way home. There's no lights but one light on the railroad and no crossing arms." They tried to get my passenger side door, tried to get my driver's side door, and I actually forgot how to shift my truck. In a Toyota Tundra, you got to put your foot on the brake to get to go into gear. And it was so nerve-wracking, I forgot that for a second. I got out of there. The Border Patrol didn't catch those guys. So I'd had enough. U.S. Customs asked me, "Hey, Mike, we want you to come speak at this town hall." And that was the beginning of the platform that God's put me on. And at that moment, I looked at everybody in that room, and I felt the soft voice of God say, "Mike, you need to be a voice for every one of these people." So I founded Warriors for Ranchers. And this is an organization because we're not getting state level crisis relief, and we're not getting national level crisis relief. And I wanted to start building fences and fixing stuff. So I hear these child sex trafficking guys. I want to speak to each and every one of you guys, because listen to this. God said, "Michael, I want you to do more." Things started coming to me because in my prayer I asked God, bring people with the skill sets that I don't have. Bring me the finances. Bring me the wisdom, God. Amplify my voice. I've been on all those major media platforms. I'm currently speaking with General Flynn, Mike Lindell, all your major heroes. I'm speaking with them in Colorado Springs in front of 3,000 people. Here in San Antonio, 6,500 sold out, going to be there. I get to speak in front of those people. So I didn't just take a stand just to fight to fix fences. God said, you got to go do more. So how many of you guys said you want to be a journalist? I am now an investigative journalist, and I'm credentialed Texas and internationally. So at the press conference in Del Rio, I want you guys to know that the judge of Del Rio pulls me aside because they know that I like to I raise some cane, right? So you got CNN, Univision, Telemundo, Epic Times, New York Times, and Warriors for Ranchers was on that bus. And when they weren't asking the proper questions, right? Like we have, the Supreme Court has ruled the Remain in Mexico policy. Do you think that any of those other journalists asked that question? No. I asked that question. Why are we not enforcing that? The Catholic Charities is moving people. You guys have seen that, right? There's another organization you guys need to do your research on, and it's called the Val Verde Border Humanitarian Coalition Unit. I sat there and she lied in my face, and that has been seen now almost 200,000 times in the last 2 days. I went up to her and she lied to me on film that they weren't moving these Haitians. Those Haitians were being moved every 30 minutes. They moved 4 buses before I got there, another bus when I got there. They're giving them the Greyhound bus tickets. So all you guys that want to fight for America, I want to make you guys warriors. I know you guys got other paths that you want to be on, but I want you guys to join me. I'll give you guys all a job, because right now our freedoms are being challenged. They're telling the people of Del Rio they need to leave. So you guys are seeing this stuff happening, you're watching the news. I can give you guys a way to do this. But God's amplified my voice, and I started a podcast called Warriors for America. And I honestly believe I'm looking at them. So if you guys, yes, Warriors for America, because here's what I want to offer to each one of you guys. I want to bring you on my platform. I want to give you guys a chance to have, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever we choose to do. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. And I'm syndicated in multiple states across the nation now. And my reach has hit almost 1 million people, 1 million impressions on a weekly basis now. And that gives you guys a chance to grow your platform. So if I can help you guys, you can. But you guys can follow me at Warriors for Ranchers on Facebook. You can go to our website at warriorsforranchers.com. And I can help you guys to grow your platforms. We've learned a lot through this time. And if you guys go, hey, Mike, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I need crowdfunding. I need to know how to make these things happen. And I'm sure I'll learn things from you guys. But I don't think we should walk away from this room just going, hey, my name is so-and-so. We walk out of this room and we take action. And I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. I'm proud to be in front of you to know that you guys care enough. Because when I'm no longer here, when Biederman's no longer here, when none of us are no longer here, you guys will remain. And we got to put people that have the faith in God, who care about our country, because we were the last place to come where we can still be free. And what's happening right now, and you guys see this administration, I didn't just take on a war of fighting for ranchers and farmers. I'm now fighting. I've been at the Texas State Capitol. Who said Second Amendment rights? I passed a bill here in the state of Texas that helped that, but now we got constitutional carry. I actually made it if people do hazing on your property or they break down stuff, they're paying restitution now. I helped pass that bill. And it's taken a stand. If you don't think your voice matters, just go out there and say, hey, I want to make a difference. How am I going to do this? Who wants to join me? And then go do it. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. So I want to encourage each and every one of you guys. There's going to be people who's going to come in your face and say, hey, you have no value. You're not going to be able to get this done. You just push that aside and you say, God, what do you want me to do? Because when he tells you, you pray to him swiftly and directly and say, God, I need this. Do you want me to do this? If so, God, use me. And I'm going to tell you, he will. So thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to be here to listen to you guys. I'm honored to be in your presence. I am. But please, each one of you guys, let's get on my schedule and let me amplify your voice.
All right.
Alicia, would you like to share?
Sure. Yes, please. Just feel free to share what's on your heart, maybe about 5 minutes or so.
Sure, I can do that. Hi guys, my name is Felicia Bull. I am the Texas Deputy Director for Gun Owners of America. I'm based out of Austin, so I'm happy to be here with happy, liberty-loving people up there. Just like, let's that gun roll again, right? And as Mr. Miller mentioned, we did get constitutional carry passed this past session. We repealed 150 years of tyranny here in the state of Texas, which a lot of people don't know, right? But now in Texas, if you were over the age of 21, which there's a few of you in this group who are, you can now carry a handgun on your person openly or concealed without a license. And that means that we got the government out of the way of our Second Amendment rights, which is just huge. And we are so thankful for all of you guys. There's a few familiar faces here in the crowd, and Representative Biederman was just an all-star during the whole session. When we're there for 20-hour hearings, his couch was my home for a little while there. You get to the Capitol at 7 a.m. on a Thursday and you don't wrap up until 6 a.m. on a Friday. And I'm not typically friendly normally, but if I'm at the Capitol for 20 hours, I need to get away. And it was just great to have such a strong supporter of the Second Amendment and Representative Biederman. But we also took away Governor Abbott's right to stop the sale of firearms and ammunition during a disaster, aka the pandemic, right? That was actually a law that a lot of people didn't know. And thankfully, Attorney General Ken Paxton came out pretty early in 2020 and said, you will not stop the sale or transportation of firearms and ammunition. And we worked to get that codified into law. And we turned Texas into a Second Amendment sanctuary state. We use Texas resources to enforce those bad federal gun laws that the Biden administration wants to send press releases out every weekend, right? They're not even going through channels. He's just passing executive orders. We say he. Someone's passing executive orders. You know, whenever they feel like it. And so we are your watchdogs, right? We are watching everything going on. We have our National Director of Development in the back. And when I tell you that she jumped on that ammo ban a couple weeks ago faster than anyone I've seen, I mean, she worked on that until 3 a.m. We are constantly working, making sure that the federal government and Texas are not going to impede on your Second Amendment rights. But we can't do it alone, right? We are made up of millions of members. We amplify y'all's voice, right? If you want something passed, that's what we work on. That's what we do. Yes, we got a lot of gun laws passed this session, but we're not finished. Who knows what happens in 2022? A little fun thing called midterms, right? I'm going to be calling all of you. Hey, there's a good pro-gun candidate running against someone who's a squish. Let's knock some doors. Personally knocked doors for Chip Roy last year in the Austin area because he's critical in DC. We have to have him. But that's what we are going to be doing in the next year, working on campaigns, making sure that when we go into the Texas legislative session in 23, we're in a stronger position to maintain and expand your gun rights. Because we're not just playing defense anymore, y'all. We're on the offense, and we proved that this year. And I'm happy to reach out to you guys. If you want some campaign experience, we work with candidates across the state. Come find me. You want an internship? Please come intern for me. Yeah? I can help you guys. I do everything from lobbying to social media to video to block walking to range days, which that's always the fun part, right? And then I'll close with this. On November 6th in Burnett, Texas, we are having a big party. We're gonna have some really cool vendors there. Can I tell any of them that yet? Y'all know Guns Out TV? Well, you should. So write that down to Google along with this podcast, right? Look at Guns Out TV. They're gonna be joining us, and we're gonna have a full range day. We're gonna have some cool vendors there. She's giving me a dirty look, so I can't tell you who's gonna be there, but we're gonna have some fun vendors there. You can try out products. We'll have a couple ammunition companies there, so if you've been fighting for that last box of 9mm at the academy, come down, get it from one of your homegrown local armories, right? And we'll be having a barbecue banquet at the end to kind of celebrate the thousands of miles traveled by Texans and the 100 hours of testifying and everything that we did to make this past legislative session a reality. So come find me. I'm happy to have some of our rock star activists here. They kept me sane when I was at the Capitol. And it's so great to see so many people, young people here, and I hate that I have to use that qualifier now because it means I'm not young anymore, but who are interested in the Second Amendment because, you know, the first is there, but the second protects the first, and we have to make sure that that right does not go away. So it's great being here with you guys, and come find me afterwards. Gunhunters.org/Texas, and then we also, who here is still on Facebook? Do young people do that? Yeah? If you're still on Facebook, go to our Facebook group, GOA Texas. That's going to be the quickest way to get all of our information. It's a great community. You can find instructors. You can ask me legislative questions. Say, okay, this is a cool bill, but what does it do, right? And it's just a community. We have 4,000 people all in Texas, because I will vet people. No trolls, no liberals. I don't get paid enough to deal with trolls. If you want to be a jerk, you're bad. I do not have time. But basically, we teach you guys how to be involved in the process, whether it's legislative, whether it's testifying on bills, or whether it's door knocking. So that's what we do.
Is that goatexas.com?
It's gunowners.org/Texas because we are part of the national organization, so that's our website. And then I run a group just for Texas because we all know we're our own breed, right? We need to be with our people. And so we're in GOA Texas on Facebook. But we do also have our national website because we do a ton of stuff on the national level. But tonight's all about boots and barbecue in Texas, right? Woo! It's got the snazzy boots on. I might have to polish them up a little bit. Mr. Biederman, would you like to come share? Welcome, Kyle Biederman. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, I'm going to tell you something you probably don't realize, a few people do, the ones that have been with you in the beginning. I mean, you all probably know more than I did when I ran for state representative, right now. So you have nothing to worry about. It's all about confidence. And what you're hearing today, you're hearing how the political process works. Right from an individual that their family's being threatened and they get involved because no one else is doing it. Where is the government? Well, the government is the problem. Okay? The government's the problem. Okay? Then you hear from Gun Owners America. Why did we get that bill passed? Because of people like Felicia and the other groups working together and nonstop. Because I've been there 3 sessions. We didn't even get a hearing my first 2 sessions. This session we passed it. What you have to understand is you all are the next generation. But you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You can be involved right now. Just like Macy's been involved and Jackson's been involved right from the beginning. Jet's being involved in my campaign and a number of others. My store today, there was a signing of a petition for Texas independence. At my, I just said, come to the store and you could sign at my, in the parking lot. It was packed. It was packed. So many people came to sign that petition. And the petition is because the people's voice needs to be heard.
Amen.
That's what government is supposed to do. Listen to the people. But right now, government's the one that tells the people what to do. And that's what's wrong. So as your state legislator, I'm just a regular Ace Hardware dealer. I'm just a person. But I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right. Confidence. You have to understand and learn or figure out what do you believe in, whether it's pro-life or what are you really pro-life. What is pro-life? I didn't know. I'm 55 years old. I go to Texas Right to Life to get interviewed to run for state representative to see if I can get their endorsement. I thought I was pro-life.
Wow.
I didn't know what pro-life was when it comes to legislation. It is so easy to say, oh, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-gun, I'm real conservative, I love liberty, I love freedom. Well, wait till you have to vote on a bill. And the bill may be stronger than you think you are, or the bill may not be perfect. Are you going to kill it? Or are you going to try to make it better? I tell you, you have to really believe and learn on these issues, and then you'll have the confidence, because people are going to come against you, your friends, your family. So here I run for office. God opened the door. 10 days, I'm running for state representative. That was it. So I knew I was doing the right thing. But I thought, I'm in Fredericksburg for 35 years. Running the hardware store, I thought everyone liked me. Run for office. Run for office, you're going to find out who likes you, who doesn't. I mean, it is, this is a spiritual battle, guys. It is a spiritual battle. It was a spiritual battle for our founding fathers.
Yeah.
But look what they did. They hung tough, and it wasn't a whole bunch of them, but they fought. And they came up with it, then they declared their independence from the greatest, strongest nation in the world. But it's because they were trusting in God, trusting in the principles of our rights and our freedoms that God gave us. That's what they stood on. That's what we need to stand on today, because that's being taken away. But if you truly believe that in your heart, when you talk to your friends, you talk to your family, and they come against you, you just say, I believe this because I have a foundation. And our foundation here in the United States, our country was founded on Christian principles and godly principles. So when I got to the legislature, and when it came to pro-life bills, they wanted to say, well, there has to be exceptions for this, oh, come on, it's unfair, and, what about a person that, rape and incest, whatever it might be. Well, I didn't really have the answers to that until I recognized God does not make a mistake.
I know.
God knows your name, everyone's name, from the beginning of time. So if you have a foundation, especially a Christian foundation, it helps you with the confidence for so many different political views. And that's what I stand on. I mean, I'm going to honor God, not man.
Right.
And if I do that and I know I'm doing the right thing, it doesn't make me popular. And it doesn't make me popular at all. But I'm popular with God. That's all I want to be popular with. And then I give my reason. If you don't like my reason, then you take it up with God. He wrote it. He said it. It's not me. So it's just so amazing to have this kind of a group here. I feel like I'm alone so often as a state representative. It's very, very difficult because we get bombarded by so much. And then when you want to do what's good, when you want to help out these groups, when you want to pass Second Amendment bills, we don't have a lot of support from our leadership. And that's sad. And, then of course, I've got my colleagues making fun of me for putting out a bill to say, hey, we need to start talking about Texas independence. We don't want to go down with California and New York. We're going to take care of Texas. And we've got a tyrannical government that our founding fathers fought against, that was Britain, that Davy Crockett, we're in his room, or Daniel Boone, we're in his room right now, he fought for it. He came. These guys are amazing. They had something in them and they fought for it. Now, we don't have to always fight with guns. It doesn't have to be bloodshed. But they believed it so strongly, just like you guys can. Believe it strongly, get the information. That's why it's so good to have a group and to meet and to learn from the people that have been involved. And then you'll have the confidence to be able to speak things. But we're at a point right now in our country and in our state that we need reinforcements, because the school system is not teaching godly principles and moral values. So those of you that are homeschooled, that's great. Those of you that are in public school, realize you didn't learn everything the right way, especially when it comes to civics and how our country was founded, our founding fathers, and godly principles. So let's get those together, and we can make a difference. And I just want to say God bless you all. What a joy it is for me to be here. And I just pray that you all would reach out. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Thank you very much.
Wow. Really quick, Kyle, how can a person really get to know their representatives?
My cell phone, anybody wants it can have it. So when I ran, I gave my cell phone number out to hundreds of thousands of people. Everything I did, I gave out my cell number.
Wow.
But people don't call me that much. I'm going to tell you, in politics, people love, just like what we're talking about on Facebook, what do you call those trolls? People love to troll you. They never want to call you, they don't want to face you, they don't want to get a meeting, don't want to ask you anything, they want to say who you are without ever asking. Anybody, I didn't know a state representative before I ran for state representative. This is how easy it is to talk to a state representative. They're not all like me, I'm going to tell you right now. But I'm a retail hardware store owner. I love customer service. So this is how easy it is. Please, ask any, there's a lot of people that know how to get a hold of me if you don't. Right here.
I can vouch for that. I called his office, I left a message, I called back for a follow-up, and she knew exactly who I was, she knew exactly the message I left and all the details. So I'm sure that your job's not easy.
Easier than you.
And have your dad call me, have Nathan call me, he'll give you my information. Or not so many of you know someone that knows me, but yeah, that's how easy it is, and it should be that easy.
Yes.
It should be that easy, especially for people like you. And if you want to know more, there's lots of campaigns coming up, as we were talking about. There's so many ways to get involved and start learning. But I would love to help any way I can, answer any questions that you might have. Because once you start standing up, you're going to be attacked. You'll be attacked.
Take your friends with you.
Yes.
So I would like to introduce one of my friends, Roman Garcia. He is the youngest person on the Kerrville City Council, and it was a blessing to get to know him before he started running, and kind of put your name out there and tell all my friends, vote for Roman.
Yeah.
So take it away.
Yeah, it was long. So my name is Roman Garcia. I currently serve on the City Council for the City of Kerrville. I serve as Councilman Place 1, so I represent everybody within the city. I actually went through 2 elections. My first election was November because COVID, gave the option for the postponement of those. So we had the election in November, didn't win that one. I went ahead and basically had a back-to-back election. I ran right again this May. So I've been serving for just a little over 4 months, and I was successful in that one. And one thing to note is that sometimes it takes more than one election cycle to get elected. You need to try and try again. And that's not all I did. Of course, before I even ran, I was involved in government for over 5 years maybe. I served on a youth council that they had with the mayor, the council members, worked with their staff, so I got very involved in that. And that interests me. And what I found is that I started slowly attending these city council meetings and noticed that all of the changes, all of the effects that we can have are right here at home. They start right here with your city council, your county commissioner's court, your school board. These are the elections you really need to get involved in. Start attending those meetings, start speaking up. And that's what I started doing, and as I did that more often, I realized this is an opportunity for me not only to continue to be involved, but now to serve the entire city. So I started doing that, and now I have the honor of serving the city of Kerrville and the citizens as the youngest sitting elected official in the state of Texas. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And something also really important to note, during my 2 election cycles and as I was getting involved in government, if I had a penny for every single time somebody came up to me and said, don't you think you're too young to run? Don't you think all these other adults who are running against you have more experience than you do? And respectfully, I disagreed with them. And I think what you can do to make up for that is you have to be committed to serving your people, and you have to be committed to doing your research, doing your homework, because that's really what helped me put me at the top. Is people started to see, okay, here's this young gentleman that wants to serve. They didn't know anything about me, and the first opportunity I had, I was able to give them answers to questions. If I couldn't answer it, I'd be honest with them. I'd research the question, get back with them, but I did all of that. And I made up for my youth, what they considered a lack of experience with the knowledge that I had in government. And I've now started, since I've been elected, I actually am partnered up with an organization called Run Gen Z. It's a national organization, and I'm actually one of the mentors for candidates all over the nation. We recently just had a conference over in Iowa. So they sent me over to Iowa. We had about 100 Gen Zs, young conservatives, who were willing to take that step and get involved. So I'd really recommend that you do that, really encourage you. It's very rewarding, and if it's something, if you don't want to run, at least help and be active in your community. Help one of your friends run for office. Do something. Because really it's time for us to step up and take our own seat at the table, because all of the decisions that are being made now, being made by people that are older than us, we're going to either have to pay the consequences or reap the benefits. And I'm sure all of us prefer the latter. So let's get involved, let's do our part, let's participate in government, and let's be a part of the decision-making process. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to talk with you afterwards. I have cards. You're more than welcome to call me. I give out my personal phone number too, although it's a little different. I get calls almost every single day, nonstop. But you're more than welcome to have that too, and to reach out to me. But thank you for your time. Thank you.
And I call a guy like that a badass. Just so you know. I do. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
I don't even know what to say after that. You guys inspired?
Fired up.
Who wants to do something for our country? There's so much to do, but I feel like I just want to end it with maybe not end it, because Mr. Weston, if you'd like to share a little bit, I know you just came
please,
in.
I appreciate it. And first off, let me tell you what. This might look like the remnant, but this is the revival that saved our country. Okay? I've got people that were involved in the Tea Party, and guess what they did? They got involved because they were reminiscent of the past. They wanted to return our country to the way it was, which was not a bad thing. America was much better off a few years ago. What each and every one of us see in this room is that our future is being raked before our eyes and stolen from us. And if we don't stand up and take it back, it's going to be gone. We won't have anything to reminisce about except being forced to wear masks. What's next? What days you can go to the grocery store, depending on what your last name is? Forced mandatory vaccinations? What if they forced everybody that had 3 children to get sterilized? Forced men to get a vasectomy and women to get stuff done there. Where does it stop? Literally. Because if you don't start thinking like that, you're not going to be ahead. We might as well have Hugo Chavez in the White House right now. One of the reasons why I'm running for Texas Land Commissioner to replace George P. Bush is because I know that the future of our country is right here, right now. This office was created by the Republic of Texas. Think about it. This office was created before the state of Texas existed, before the governor's office existed, because they knew that we needed people to serve in this position, that we're going to encourage people to move into the state of Texas, across the wide state, and then, you'll know this part, to help fund the Texas Revolution. We might not be too far away from having something like that happen again. Now, we're not going to leave the Northern 48 because we care about them.
Right.
But if you're a lifeguard, one of the things they teach you is you cannot let the person you're trying to save drown you. Before I was running for land commissioner, I created a bill that made human trafficking a death penalty offense. Before I was running for land commissioner, I created a bill that made voter fraud a felony in Texas. I worked with Project Veritas. I worked with Project Veritas to get that woman arrested in Bexar County that we had all over the national news for all of the voting fraud that she did. Her group impacted almost over 400,000 votes across the state of Texas.
Wow.
We are at war. And the people like you in this room, you have the opportunity to exponentially impact our culture. I was at an event the other day about voter fraud. There was 375 people in the room. I'm 45 years old. It's my beautiful wife right here. Give her a round of applause, please. We had 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls, no twins, and I'm not Catholic. For the folks in West Texas, I always remind them we're not Mormon either. But what we realized is that in that room, half of the people, 95% of the people were 3 or 4 years younger than I am, and 3 and 4 years older than I am. They get it. You right now are the general patterns of your time. Because the other people, they're waking up. This man right here, I'm down on the board with him at midnight trying to find and hunt down illegal aliens so we can turn them into the Border Patrol. And they got people that are there pretending that they're National Guardsmen, not wanting to identify, wanting to inappropriately engage them to the point where they're actually looking at filing federal charges against them.
Trying to get me arrested for helping, for doing good. I'm going to tell you guys, what office did he say he's running for? Land commissioner, right? But are you guys hearing his fight? He's fighting for so much more, just like each and every other person in here is running for office. He's running for land commissioner, but between the two of us, we've worked with Project Veritas. He's helping put people away that's working child sex trade. We've got stuff going on. Exposing these buses and the NGOs. I mean, how much more fight can he have? He's running for land commissioner, but he's fighting for so much more. And I just want you guys to see that influence, because each and every one of you had the same fight. He's got the fight, he's got the fight, he's got the fight. And you're young and you've got a long way to go still, you know?
Thank you, Brian.
You are.
I don't wear the hat because I'm bald.
You see the two of us together, and I'm going to tell you guys this, is my platform's given me the opportunity to meet a lot of great candidates. But I got to stand here with him and Sid Miller. And you made a comment, how if you could have $1 for every time somebody asked you if you were too young to run for office. Well, if I had $1 for every person that asked me if Sid Miller was my dad, I just started saying, yeah, he's my dad. But at the end of the day, when you really want to stand your ground and you care about this country, you care about Texas, I hope you guys can see it with Weston here. When he just stood up and told you guys he's running for Texas Land Commissioner, but he's fighting for everything else. We all got to do that. If we're going to stand up and we're going to do what's right for our country, we got to do what's right for all of us. And if he can't do it alone, so I'm going to stand with him. And I hope each and every one of you guys will stand with me beside him. And this isn't just me publicly endorsing him, which I do.
We already have.
I already have, yeah. And so it's the fact that when we see value in somebody, we all got to stand up. When he made a comment, he owns a business, and when he started running for office, he started to learn who liked him and who didn't. And it's coming down like, you got to support the people who's going to support you. So I had to say that for you.
Right now, as I just close to get this back, and thank you all for your time. Earlier today, Biden shut down the checkpoint coming out of Laredo for 12 hours, Mike.
Yeah, and even Uvalde. Uvalde got shut down.
And so they just were able to get some people back over there. 15,000 trucks a day cross the border at Laredo. That's why you have so much trafficking and everything coming up I-35. So I'll leave some of these here. Weston Martinez, God bless you guys. This lady's doing a great job, so let Elizabeth give you some guidance. All you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Telegram. Enos Life, ENASLIFE, is actually a new First Amendment platform as well, so y'all are the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Whoa. So, if there was to be a young adults group that starts up here in the Hill Country, with many of us here in the room, who would be interested in doing that?
Let's go.
Score! Yeah. Yes! Yes! We live on. Okay.
If I
You called out my phone number.
I will get Sid Miller and myself to come
Yes.
do a benefit for you guys, just for a
Yes.
fundraiser for the club to get started.
Okay.
So Weston, we talked about having the rally at the ranch. I want all of them there.
Okay, great.
What's your name, baby?
And we'll have fun. Honestly, as young people, I still like to have fun, even though I'm 32. I feel like I get way too serious sometimes, but if I've been a little goofy here today, it's just to lighten the mood. And so, you guys have my phone number. Anybody that doesn't have my phone number, come up and talk to me. I'll give it to you. And thank you so much. Can we do a quick group photo? Our photographer had an awesome idea. So which way?
That way.
Okay. Okay, everybody face this way.
You too, get in there.
You want to be in the photo, you're welcome to stand back.
If you spoke, get in there too.